D-Love from the south side, let me take you for a ride. Straight out of Inglewood, where the real ones thrive. No filters, no fear, just truth like night. No apologies, just me shining bright. Really vibes and a little insight. Gonna keep it real day or night. Tune in, lean back, and you'll see. It's D-Love, just me, how it's meant to be. 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 D-Love from the south side, let me take you for a ride. Straight out of Inglewood, where the real ones thrive. No filters, no fear, just truth like night. No apologies, just me shining bright. Stories, vibes, and a little insight. Here we keep it real day or night. Tune in, lean back, and you see. It's D-Love, just me, how it's meant to be. 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 D-Love from the south side, let me take you for a ride. Straight out of Inglewood, where the real ones thrive. No filters, no fear, just truth like night. No apologies, just me shining bright. Just me, how it's meant to be. D-Love, just me, how it's meant to be. Just me, how it's meant to be. D-Love, just me, how it's meant to be. D-Love, just me, how it's meant to be.
Hey, guess who's back? I went and got my eyebrows done. They're a little thick, but they'll lighten up. Hey, y'all, this your girl, D-Love from the South Side. Inglewood for life, Chicago, that is. And I appreciate you coming, one and all. Hey, Tamika and the boys. I was about to say, where my girl at? She right here, girl. I was trying to be a little professional. Since I got that 500 subscribers, I said, let me step my game up. Stop coming on here looking like the homeless lady. Go draw some eyebrows on yourself. But I appreciate you stopping by. I love that name, Tamika and the boys. That is cute. Well, hey, Chris, how are you? I hope all is well. I hope you had a great day. And it's Friday, and you chose to spend it with me. That's what's up. I want to talk about the interview that Steave House did with Jason. When Steave, Ed Steave did with Jason House. And the interesting thing is, I drove through Dalton today. I be want to stop, but I be like, I ain't got time to be harassed. But I said, okay. I took some pictures, y'all. But I just took pictures of people. The sign in their grass for Jason House 2025. So I did it. I didn't want to get out and invade people's privacy in their homes. You know what I'm saying? But I have to find that video now. I'm gonna show you the video. The pictures that I've taken. I'm continue. I'm always evolving, y'all. I'm always evolving, so I'm gonna get better and faster. Have it all together. If anybody knows the exact interview with, it's funny how when you see certain people's thumbnails, you be like, dang, didn't I do that? But it's all good in the hood. But I did want to speak on something that happened yesterday. Found it. Okay. I'm gonna mute this real quick. So, and when I saw Ed Steave, he did tell me that he had an interview that was coming out. Hey H, good evening. You look beautiful. Thank you, girl. I went and got me some eyebrows this evening. Listen, let me tell you the funny thing is. Hey Larry Matthews, nice seeing you. Glad you can join us. Hey, let me tell you the funny thing is. I was watching Cooking with Frank today, and I'm booked. I said, "Oh, you can see me sitting there with my camera, and I'm just watching the people watching." But I'm glad. I'm glad you are here. So let's go over. I don't know how many of you all seen the interview with Ed, Steve, and Jason House. Well, we're gonna watch it today, y'all, because I didn't see it. And please be engaging in these comments. Okay, before I go further. Hey, Harold. Hey, Sunshine. You wearing the super smart glasses today? I just got them out the mail. I say yes. I remember I used to hate wearing glasses, but now I wear my glasses religiously. Hey, Dave. Dave. He said, hey, y'all. And I know a lot of people, I don't see people who were in the chat yesterday. They may be coming shortly, but we had a guest on yesterday. Apparently, we had some distractors, I must say. And just in case that these people who were part of the distractors or the people who were offended, first of all, I'm sorry. I didn't even get it. I wasn't paying attention to the chat. I was talking to Curtis, our yes, for the evening. And some people felt a certain kind of way. And I just want to get started. That's why I have on my, as you can see around my face, I have no drama and no bullying. Dios mío, bullying anyone allowed in this chat. And I really mean that. I would just end a chat or make the chat where if you're not a member, you can't comment in the chat. But we can't have people bullying each other. And, this is a safe space. Hey, Michael, nice to see you. Yeah, this channel right here, we ain't about all that drama and Tiffany's side, not Tiffany's side. We're here for it. Because the truth is going to come out every which way as possible. But it's not our job to be. Hey, Des, he said hello. Des said hello from the bushes. Hey, how you doing? I'm glad you can join us. And I'm glad you came out the bushes to say hello. I appreciate that. But I just want everybody to know that this is a safe space. And I'm sorry that if anybody were offended, like sometimes everybody, they're pushing agendas and everybody has the right to push their own agenda in their own space. But this space right here is a real space. It's a real vibe. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna do all that cattiness. And if you on her side, his side, their side, everybody got a side. That's what makes us different and unique in our own way. So again, if I see people bullying, I will have to kick them out and I will call you out on it. So, but we're not going to do that over here because we're grown and sexy. Half of us is over 50, over 40. Ain't no way we're going to do all that. Because the analytics told me my demographic is 45 to 65. And really, men and women are really neck and neck. Now, I must admit that analytics also tells me that at least 75% of people who comes to this chat do not join. So I would like to change that and, get people to come and chat with each other and join. Like, again, this is a safe space. So we all about the truth and we just like to keep it honest. All right, you ready to watch the video? One second. Oh, and so let me say this. Tomorrow, Stephanie Wiederman will be joining us at 8 p.m. and she will be nominated for the Thornton Township trustee, replacing temporary replacement for Jerry Jones. So, and that will be next Tuesday, the 21st. Yep, because Martin Luther King Day is on Monday. So I just want to make sure I let you know that so you can be ready for tomorrow. And I always say, if you have any questions, make sure you write your questions down. One thing about Stephanie, she is so down to earth. She doesn't have a problem with talking about stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I appreciate, having a guest on who is not trying to be like the political and give you political answers. Yeah, and that's what I appreciate. And I'm sure you appreciate that too. I want to, well, I'm going to write on my gas bill. Right. So that's what I'm reminding you tomorrow, 8 p.m. Stephanie Wiederman will be on our channel. Yay. I'm so excited. All right, let's get started, y'all. Let's get started. Okay. Here we go. Hi, Yasmiel. And let me know if my music is too loud. I'm going to turn it down so you can hear also. Oh, cool. Let's have that. Let me turn the music down. And again, hello, Des. Thank you for coming out the bushes. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. I really appreciate you so much. I really mean that. Okay, I turned it down, so let me know if it's too loud. Oh, Jed is pushing Stephanie really hard. Well, I like, to be honest, I like Stephanie. I do like the fact that even if it's, so we have to remember this is only temporary. And if we get someone in there who knows what's going on already, or knows, like somebody said, where the bodies are found, and we can only see, and then also we look at it this way also. Depending on what you do now to the end of this term, what really dictate on if you're going to be reelected, or will you be able to get elected in Thornton Township. Yeah, everybody got their picks. But I like Stephanie. When I went and talked to her, she was very friendly. She didn't, there was somebody who did that kind of funny when I asked them a question. I was like, it ain't that serious. This is Thornton. This is Dalton. This ain't no big, this ain't the White House. But yeah, it was interesting. I like Stephanie. So again, she was very friendly and she received me and didn't even know me. All right, here we go, y'all.
Forward to changing our community.
Oh, that's loud. Is it loud or is it just me?
To lay out his plan so we get to know him better and to get Dalton out of the mess that we are in. So,
hey, did anybody see the let me make this bigger so y'all can see. Did anybody see the I put a poll in the community. If you get a chance, can you go do the poll and let me know what you think and what your thoughts are? What you just do the poll for me. Oh, it's fine in your ear? Okay. Thank you, Harold. I guess it's mine's sensitive.
with no further ado, we are here with Senior Trustee Jason House. How you feel today?
I'm feeling wonderful, and I like that former future. I like the future part much more than the former. You deserve to be up there with us, all the work you do behind the scenes. So,
yes, sir.
Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. So we're going to get started right away. You see, I got my notes this time because I got some good questions. The first question, who are you? Tell us a little bit about you, Jason House.
Jason House is somebody that grew up in Dalton. So I actually moved to Dalton in third grade. Roosevelt Elementary School, went to Thornton for a few years. I did transfer from Thornton into another high school, went away to college, University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and then graduated 2001. Maybe I shouldn't tell my age, I don't know. But
I'm just talking. I didn't realize I had myself on mute. Hey, thank you, Harold. Appreciate it. Thank you for participating. And hey, Kathy Fields, she said Jason seems to be a polished man. He definitely does. And you can tell that he probably went to college beforehand. I mean, compared to Tiff Tip, you can tell he's been to college. Can I ask a question? If Mr. Steve win, whose spot is he taking? That's a good question. Would it be Andrews? I would think it would be Andrew Holmes. Or I think Stan's not running again. Also, I know that. He is real respectful. He called her Mrs. Hinyard. I would say it's between Jason. Oh, he'll take Jason's spot. Okay, good answer. Now, what about I not heard Stan Brown wasn't going to run again. And what about Holmes? It would be Jason's spot. Okay. But what about the other two? Just out of curiosity. But good question. They're not up yet. Thank you. You got the tea for real, for real. Okay, now we know. So, Toy stated the BSN RN, Stan and Andrew C are not up yet. Now, you would think Andrew Holmes will resign in his position, but he ain't finna resign because he still need a check, right? When is their position up? Was it next year? And so he's going to take Jason House. Okay, that's good. So we got that facts together, right, everyone? All right, let's continue.
Graduated with a marketing degree. Had bought my first home back in Dalton, and then also worked in the community as the bank manager, U.S. Bank on Sibley. So at 15 plus years in banking, serving the community, and that's kind of just been my passion.
Yeah.
Wow.
So a lot of people, when you out going door to door, some people remember you from U.S. Bank right there on Sibley.
Surprisingly, a lot more than I would.
Wow, he's been in the community for a very long time. Now, even though he flew here, she grew here, but he grew and flew all in one. And Uncle said, I know where he got his shoes from, and I don't know where he got his shoes from, but you could tell, man, from his shoes.
I worked there in a little bit over 10 years, but a lot more people than I would imagine.
Okay. So when you hear us call you the senior trustee, that title, what does that mean?
Just means that I've had the most consecutive years on the board. You have to make sure that you earn every title that you get. So, I mean, years of service, I think, of course, is one thing, but it's what you do with those years that's going to matter. And I like to feel that I've grown.
And Ms. Hinyard, she's self-proclaimed. She calls herself that. No one gave her that name. She flew from the West Side. The mom said they've been in the community for 29 years. Tiff is 41. Yeah, I heard she moved here when she was in high school. I don't know if you noticed this, but a lot of people has come from the West Side to the Dalton area. Listen to that conversation.
Every year, and that's in large part due to the residents listening to them and them challenging me, and me stepping up to the challenge.
Okay. So what was the first year you ran for trustee?
First year I ran for trustee, I actually ran for trustee some years ago. I ran in 2011, unsuccessful. Then I ran again in 2017 and was successful. And since then, I've had 7 years of continued service.
Okay. What was your greatest achievement in that first term of being trustee?
I would have to say our greatest achievement. I think you were on the finance committee with me yourself, Trustee Tammy Brown, and I was appointed to the chair of the finance committee. And at that time, we did everything we could to make sure that there was transparency with the financials. We were able to.
Man, he looked like two different people now. How old is Jason? That's what I was trying to figure out. I want to say he's about 47. Or maybe Toy has that answer for us. I like Jason, that Jason does interviews. Oh, Tiff interview herself and talk about herself. Well, that's what she does when you have something to prove to somebody. I. Hey, can we get how old is Jason House?
Court have monthly financial reports actually provided. Prior to that, we really did not even get monthly financial reporting. But through the work that we all did together, we got a monthly financial notes. We were able to review it, and we started to see the reserves actually build up, in particular in our general fund, which is where primarily our finances come from, or our bills are paid out of. So when you take a look at the
now it says that he's 45. Yeah, it says he's 45.
Report on Lori's report in particular, it
was 46. Okay.
In 2022, in our general fund, we had a 5 point, a little bit.
I just saw Google and it just told me 45. Oh, it does says 46. You're right. And they give out all your personal information. That is crazy.
$5 million of surplus. And then it also showed the sharp decline within a 2-year period. But I think that we collectively really forced the financial reporting. And then with that financial reporting,
yes, I saw that.
So I think that's probably our greatest accomplishment.
I think it's funny you said that. I know I did. I took that for granted now because
I like that blue suit he has on.
So it's missing. That there was a finance meeting every month.
Yes.
We looked at the finance report, and then when we did the budget, if you came to the budget meeting, you got a copy of the budget, and you went through line by line, every expenditure, everything, every money coming in, going out, and we've been missing that for the last 3 years.
No, we set it up on a schedule.
Yeah.
Every month, the last Wednesday of the month, we came in, we went over it, and at that point in time, you might have 5 residents show up, 6 residents. But for those who did, they cared about our money. They deserve to know what's going on, along with everybody else. It was posted on the Village of Dalton website, so people can go back and take a look at it. Going over the budget, so you want to make sure that
I would like one of those pins he has on.
We're being as responsible as we can, and I think that's obviously that's missing today. And as there was a shift, and of course you weren't on the board any longer, and the finance committee was transferred from our oversight. Things really was another part of the decline.
Yeah. Well, before residents don't know, before the trustees had committees, and everybody would do the committee meetings, and then when this last election, when I lost my seat, and then
hey, Harold. He said, I'm surprised Tiff doesn't say Jason doesn't live in Dalton like her goons do. Hey, listen, Jason's information is all on Google, so she can't deny that one. She got to pick another fight. This one's not it.
She just took all the committees, gave it to 2 people, but they don't have no committee meetings. That's how you encourage transparency. With having committee meetings, you talk about everything before it comes to the board.
But I don't know. I'm sure you'll remember, even when this administration changed over, the committees used to have reports on the agenda, and then you would talk about what each committee is doing. Yeah. Upon the transition in this new administration, the committee reports were kind of obliterated, and no committee person was even allowed to prepare, and it became a fight to host a committee meeting. That's part of the transparency that we talk about.
Yeah, and it became a fight because she would tell the department heads, don't go to our committee meetings, and if you do go, then the job will be threatened and all that. So yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
What was it like going into this administration, going to your second term as trustee?
Going in there was a ton of optimism, or the thought that we were going to transition. I think that for me, going in as being reelected, every election, has its own energy and its own feel.
Yeah, hey William, Xander. I'm glad you was able to join us today. And I see your comment. Money is gone. Folks want to see what's left as she loses. Well, I don't know. Well, I think people always wanted to know, right? But if you look at we did a video earlier this week at about the budget for Thornton Township 2023, 2024, and 2024 and 2025. You can see where in 23, 24, she condensed everything was broken out. Like they said, it used to be that way, even for us. For them, it was always broken out. And now it is now compressed together. And now you don't know where the money is being applied to or where the money is coming out of, the way she has it set up now for Thornton Township. And that's what the same thing she's done to Dalton. Now, she might say it's allegedly, it's not truth. But if we look at the paperwork, because if the paperwork says it, that means it's true. I'm just saying. Hey, Toy said broke. Hey, Karan. Thank you for joining us and good evening. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe.
I felt really, really fortunate after going out there, because when you go to get elected, you think you've done a good job, but you're at the mercy of the residents, and that's the way it should be. So winning that election and getting the support, the renewed support, also brought some more optimism. We were promised some changes, and I'll say we, being myself, Trustee Belcher, Clerk Key, we were promised changes and let down pretty quickly, and that's frustrating. I had to go on an apology tour. I still have to go on an apology tour, but we remain focused to the original values that we promised to do as trustees. Just because one individual went off in a different direction doesn't mean that we have to that we had to deviate from our plan. So I think that we've unfortunately had to fight hard. We work hard to do it for the rest.
And that's one thing you have to appreciate about this interview with Ed, Steve, and Jason House. A grown-up conversation. Right. Clerk Keys was never a fan. Some people have that discernment. Well, they know. But I appreciate like a grown-up conversation. We're not where people are arguing, screaming at each other. Like we're having real conversation, and to get the information out where you can actually understand who you are voting for this time, not just because of name only or name recognition.
Residents, and we see a future forward that we can be proud of.
Yeah, that's real right there. It's almost, people say, well, y'all ran together. What happened? And I would like to compare it to you get into a relationship with somebody, and when you get into the relationship, it starts off really good, and then when you actually start living, you realize, oh, this person crazy. You know what I mean? And then you have to really start parting ways and figure out ways to work together. So, would you say what happened? In short, because we know what happened, but in short, people who don't know, like, what was the breakdown?
Well, and I think it's been documented very well. For me, I think one of the key moments, and it happened early, is as we started having disagreements publicly in the board meeting, and we would decide that we were going to take a vote. And in the meeting, Ms. Henyard would say, you guys go on to do a vote, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. Essentially saying, I'm just going to completely disregard what's being voted on. And what's being voted.
Hey, Malcolm, you was right. Her interviews, she tell them what they are going to talk about. That's that control. Lawyer report will change the game. And that's what William says. But I want to know, how much can it change? Like, what more information can she tell that we don't know?
Voted on is the law, and at that point in time, it's like, well, we're in trouble. We have some things to figure out. I assumed that once we had legislative council or we went to court, that it would kind of get cleared up very quickly. and the courts moved a lot slower than the needs of this community, and that was even more discouraging.
Yeah, good point. The next question is, we decided to do a recall.
Yeah.
Pretty early on. What motivated that decision? And I think in the NBC documentary, they really documented why we did the recall and stuff like that. What's your take on the recall?
I felt like, and I just talked about it in saying that once we realized that ordinances were going to be disregarded, that was my turning point for me, where we have to.
Toy said the money is gone. She used to yell, Dalton has a surplus. And we finna find out the truth. I get you.
Things are going in the wrong direction. We have to stand up and try to make an attempt. And it's unfortunate, the court ruling. I think that the residents spoke loud and clear during the recall. I think we did our job and our due diligence. And even with that, we have to make sure that a lot more information and a lot more attention came to Dalton. Unfortunately, negative attention, because you don't want to draw negative attention. For I would say from a board member standpoint, our first obligation was to try to sit down and try to figure things out. And you know how many meetings we had with pastors and talking about trying to have just getaways where we can bring it together.
Wow.
And it didn't work. And not only did it not work, the energy from Ms. Hinyard and team got a lot more vicious towards the board. And more importantly, I want to say towards the board, towards the residents and towards the community. And once it starts getting to that boiling point, you have to take some extreme steps. I think the recall was a last resort. And within that short amount of time, we already had hit.
Oh, he is telling. He is really giving some tea, right? He said they became more meaner, like they pet bulls in a skirt.
That last resort. And even throughout that time frame, you know how many meetings we've had trying to see if we can smooth things over to not go in that direction. But it became increasingly clear that communication or cooperation was not going to be had in this administration. So I felt it was a necessary step.
Yeah, and it's important to point out, people say, well, can't y'all just sit down and talk about it? Sit back and can't y'all figure this out in the back room? We've had meetings, we've had intervention.
Yes.
Can y'all do this?
Wow.
Can y'all do that? It is hard to sit down and compromise with somebody who doesn't want to compromise.
Yes.
And we always compromise. I want to hit on the first budget and I've hit this on other interviews, the type of money that this administration had starting out. We gave her so much: new fire trucks, new police clerks, new police officers. We wasn't able to do that for the last 4 to 6 years of put that much money in the budget because it was reserved coming out of COVID. Talk about the money that we voted for this administration when they first got in.
Well,
Wow. See, she had, I'm not going to say play along, get along, but work together with the administration. She would have gotten really everything she wanted. But I guess it's just that power thing. I don't know. What did William say? William said the Amazon purchase is still stuck in voters' minds. Hey, Malcolm, no, Jason, because they want to hear from the mayor, is what she said. Yeah, they want to hear from me, the mayor. And they've been wanting to hear, but not hear you yell. They want you to just talk to them like you got sense. Hey, Bella.
I think I would say we voted for it for the people because we saw the need and we saw that we had the ability to do it. And I try not to focus as much on the back and forth that is the obvious highlight of this administration. Ultimately, it's something that we saw we needed, we had the ability to do it, and we pushed forward. And we were hopeful with the new administration that these things would be done properly. And right now, we're just not getting that. It's not. And on the minute that we recognize that it's not.
Hey, I have 84 people in the chat. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate that you have come by to stop by and hear a conversation about to review this video, right? But if you can please hit that like, subscribe, and share. I see I have a lot of new people, and I appreciate you. Hey, Lavelle. First of all, let me say, ooh, sorry. Bella. I love Mayor House. Mayor House. MH. Hey, Lavelle. They timed the Lightfoot report very well, close to the election. They did a good job. But the question is, will the seniors see this? Because they not getting it to the bus place and all the other places. CL Smooth. I admire the character that he has always displayed, his patience and his professionalism. I do believe he can be the change that is needed. I believe that too, just because he's so, like, you can see the humbleness in him, right? And he has a background in finance, so really he understands everything that is happening. Just saying.
Being done properly, it's not being done transparently, and with community inclusion, of course, we have to put up more guardrails because that is the position of a trustee. That's what we're supposed to do, and that's what we've held firm with doing.
Okay. The question I have for you next is, what's your thoughts on the chaos at the board meetings?
Mm-hmm.
What's your take on that?
It's not the reflection of the Dalton that I know.
Mm-hmm.
The chaos in the board meetings is probably the biggest frustration, and the chaos is all set up by the agenda. That agenda sets the tone, and there was one meeting where we talked about it.
Call the roll, Cloaky.
Call a roll.
Now you got something else. Go ahead.
So, just the entire meeting is set up for an argument. Information is not given to the board, and then we get in here. It's set up to say, "Yes, I did." My ask, I keep asking the same thing. Let's put it on the website. We don't have to go back and forth. We don't have to do any of this show. The same item has been put on the agenda for the last 9 meetings. I'm exaggerating, but the mayor did say she's going to keep on putting it up there, knowing that there's not enough support for it. It's set up just for us to come in here and argue. That's the whole intention. Come in here and argue, and then state, I don't want to go back and forth. I mean,
and listen, if we really listen to what he's saying, the same thing that they're dealing with in Dalton is the same thing that they're dealing with in Thornton Township, using the same tactics and the thought process. Oh, Bella said House 2025, all the way from NC, North Carolina. Larry, that Amazon purchase don't matter to a lot of the senior citizens. No, they do not care about that Amazon. It was the one Tiffany was singing the goodbye song, on tape at the meet. Nah, nah, nah. Hey, hey, goodbye. And they're going to play that same song. And I'm sure they won't play that same song to her because it seems like they're more mature people. And maturity means a lot. Hey, Lisa Lee, I've been waiting on you. Nobody wants to hear anything from her. She had her chance. It's a wrap for her. That's what Bella said. Hit those like buttons, guys, and subscribe and support my sister. I appreciate you.
we know most people say definition of insanity, doing the same
Same
thing,
thing
expecting
over
a different
again.
result.
You're right.
It's insane to put up the same item knowing it doesn't have support. But it's set up for the argument, it's set up and then to twist it and say, oh, board, you're doing this and you're doing that. It really doesn't make sense, but if it has to be put up there 9 times, put up there 15 times for us to go and do it, but just understand we know why the whole back and forth. The meeting is set up that way. As board members, we can look at the package. And I'm sure the mayor, everybody looks at the package by now and say, that one right there, that's going to be the argument. Corporate bills, we know that's where it go up. So I don't think even most people tune in until about an hour into the meeting, so that way they get to corporate bills. But again, the meeting is set up for an argument.
It's a setup. He said this is a setup. And hey, Sharon, Miss Kuma Lottie must go. I don't think she was Kuma Lottie. Bella, it's two Bellas. Oh, is it? Hey, ladies. Tiffany needs an enema. That is sweet. Hey, Lisa Lee. Oh, hey, Miss Brooks. What a beautiful picture. Stopping in from Compton, California. Clean House 2025. Glad you can join us and stopping by. Before you leave, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Oh, he said Tiffany is so done. She was getting involved with Gary conditions. And they not gonna let that happen. Hey, Gemini 2 Butterfly. No, we gonna play the song. We petty like that. Okay, we petty. Hey, Bella 61. Hey. We shall continue.
Sorry that it's set up that way, and hopefully we'll do different in the next meeting. Thank you.
Trustee, that's definitely not true. And then you should basically pause on the things you actually say. If it's set up for argument, then why take the bait?
Let me say this real quick. Hey, Barry, are we talking about the Henyard of Henna of Dalton? Yes, we are. I wanted to watch this interview that Jason House did with Ed Steave, and I had never watched it before, so I thought I would watch it with you all. And also, I noticed that my likes are not matching my views. If you can, I would appreciate that they match. Please hit that like and subscribe. Yes, Tiffany named herself the smartest in the class after her fabricated college graduation. We ain't never seen that picture. Gary Condit was involved with Chandra Levy. Why do I remember that? Tiffany still driving a Tahoe, they claim. Hey, now I got a picture. I was parked next to the Tahoe, but I didn't see her in it, but it was running in the parking lot. Just saying. I'm hitting the wrong button. Okay.
The mayor has the ability to kind of set the meeting agenda. And of course, all board members should have the ability to put things on there. We had a period of time we had to fight just to get something on the agenda. Normally, the clerk would prepare the agenda. That agenda had been taken away from the clerk for about a 2.5, 3-year period, specifically to prevent board members from getting access to the agenda. And the reason that I'm highlighting that itself, in communities where things are functioning, you start with the agenda, you speak with one another. If you don't agree with what's on the agenda, it doesn't go on there. And that way you can, behind the scenes, have a conversation, make sure that you don't come out into the public and just have a lot of back and forth and show the worst sides. And this administration, which was also talked about during that meeting, things are put on the agenda specifically to try to prove a point. And the only point being proven is that we're fighting with each other in a certain community. So I really emphasize the importance of that agenda and a leader that's going to make sure that if things are put on the agenda, if there's a disagreement, pull it off the table, work behind the scenes, and move forward. And that's where a lot of
Hey, that's the kind of man I can appreciate. He ain't trying to do a whole lot. He trying to let's think about this methodically and work the problems out. He not trying to be hollering, hooping and hollering and all this other crazy stuff. CL Smooth. I think one of the biggest changes House has to do walking into office is to change the name of that skating rink and find the best possible way to generate money for it. Definitely change that skating rink. And I think that skating rink should go to the park district. They should be do something with it and not the village. You know, I mean Dalton. And that would generate income. That's my thoughts. Hey, Lisa Lee, I gave you a wrench. Sharon, she said the audacity Tiff has to play with the legal system and drag Loretta. You can see it all in her face. That was, ooh. Bella, thank you. Please hit those like And likes and subscribe. It's free 99. Gemini to Butterfly. She knew Jason was telling the truth. Yep, starting arguments to deflect. And you could see that you could see the patterns. You know what I'm saying? Enough is enough. Anybody too tired of that. House probably sees Tiffany as a silly clown. He probably sees her as a silly girl. Do you think House has been had? What do you mean by has been had? Do he talk about it in this interview? Oh, okay, great. Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, thanks. Thank you. No, thank you. Because nobody else is here today. So I know you always say, I can only like once. I know. I appreciate you. Hugs and kisses.
The chaos really starts off.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you get into the meeting and there's accusations hurled, lies told.
Yeah.
And now you have to, you're not going to let somebody sit there and just tell a lie on you and say nothing about it, because then publicly people believe that.
Yeah.
So you have to try to strike that balance of, how do I clear up this lie that's being told about me and do it with a way that's dignified so that people still respect me? And that's a very hard position. And that's a position that the trustees and the board have been put in for the last 4 years. Yeah. I commend all the trustees, Trustee Norwood, yourself as a board member, Trustee Tammy Brown, Trustee Belcher, and Clerk Key, who sometimes gets lost in the shuffle on the ability to really sit in there and speak that truth and work to do it in a dignified way that the residents can really receive.
Yeah, it's hard to maintain your composure when somebody's blatantly not only lying on you, talking to you so disrespectfully and aggressively.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's a hard thing. How do you maintain your cool in the sense that people say, well, should Jay speak up more? Should Jason say this more? How do you maintain your coolness and your dignity and not get baited in? Because she tries to bait you. One time she cut you off. Is that she says so many things so disrespectfully. How do you maintain your cool?
I want to commend Trustee Norwood, Trustee Tammy Brown, Trustee Tiana Belcher.
Trustee.
Floor is mine, Mayor.
Trustee.
I want to commend them for standing in here during these attacks.
Trustee.
No, the mayor does not want to hear
Trustee.
what he said. However,
this is why the meetings get out of order. Can you stay on track with what we're talking about, which is corporate bills? If you want to say your comment, you can say your comment after it's a motion and a second on the floor, trustee. 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 It's a motion and second on the floor regarding the bills. Can we stay the course?
Getting towards the bills.
For Trustee House, I want to give, if I had a plaque, I would give you Calmest Black Guy of the Year award. Because I was at home getting riled up, wondering how, I'm like, there must got to be something going on. So how is he keeping a level here? But in government, you have to.
I'm glad that, for those who think that I maintain my cool, I'm glad that that's portrayed. Many times I think about it that I'm in the meeting for the residents. So many of my comments are directed to the community, to the residents, and to those that have come to observe our thought process. So as much as possible, I try to make my comments in their direction, and I don't want to go back and forth with somebody who clearly is not looking for an answer to compromise. They're looking for a fight, and I'm not going to give you the fight you're looking for. I'll make my comments for the record and for the residents, and then it's time to move on.
Okay. All right, so we got.
Yikes. I said, that's the calmest black man I ever seen. Now, I've seen some calmness, but I could see Steave will probably go off on her. Let's see. Hey, Lisa Lee, you are a special baby girl. William, they don't have anything on Jason, and that's Tiffany's downfall. Yep. People like him, like legitimately. Michael, who's the bigger cock, Tiffany or Mike? Oh, crook. My fault. Hey, Justin. He congratulated Lisa Lee getting that wrench. Hey, Lisa is my A1 day one. She's right. Even though everyone is always well behaved here. Well, we had a little issue yesterday, but Gemini, as Steave used to and still do tell Tiff off. That's why she campaigns to get Ed off the board. The hate. No, House is professional and down to earth.
Got to deal with the infamous "Don't pray for me no more" statement. Don't pray for me no more. How did that happen? Because it really pushed you to that point.
Brother Moore, you prayed us in on unity. You prayed us in and came with the most divisive speech I heard in my life. Don't pray for me no more.
What is?
Hey, that's what the people was saying at that Thornton Township meeting. They didn't want him to pray for them at all. They just turned their backs and just start talking in tongues. It sounded like, I was like, what is going on here? That's hilarious. So ever since then, nobody wants to hear William Moore speak. Just saying.
Super, but it was to the point. How did you get to that point?
It's one of those moments that you don't know is coming. You are talking, and then after the fact, I get a lot of calls from people saying, "Okay, man, can I pray for you?" Which I thought is humorous.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of different things going on at that particular moment. During that time, you had just recently lost the election. Yourself and Trustee Belcher are probably the most outspoken advocates on the board, and I think all of us have our way of communicating, but in terms of advocacy for the first couple of years, most outspoken, you and Trustee Belcher, Brittany will make her points, Trustee Brown make her points. Of course, I'll comment where I see fit. So without you being there as part of the advocacy, and then I'm watching as now the Ms. Henyard again would start telling the employees to.
I see he respectfully called her Miss Henyard. Someone brought that up earlier. I just heard it. I never really paid attention to it at first.
Kind of lay in on us and start joining the fight, which is completely improper for a leader. Like we try our hardest to keep the employees out of the middle. But in this administration, the employees are encouraged to just come in and point out everything else, which puts them in a horrible position. But bring all that up because, we had lost you as an advocate on the team. Now you have the employees just kind of dumping on it. In this particular meeting, I felt like they were going in
really hard.
Not just borderlining on disrespectful. In this instance, it was with Trustee Belcher.
Don't get in front of a board meeting and say what you say. That's all I'm saying. Get your facts straight first before you come to a board meeting.
Tell the people what you've done. Okay, Trustee Belcher, Trustee House, Trustee Norwood, Trustee Tammy Brown. What have you done?
The challenges that we face, I still go in there.
I'm gonna have to stop hitting the mute button. I was saying is he's gonna have a lot of problem with those Tiffany supporters that are still be employed there, right? So they're gonna do whatever they can to sabotage what he got going on or what he's trying to do. Hey, Shay Shay. So I think that's really is gonna be his biggest challenge. I'm sure, trying to find that money, but also just trying to weed out the negativity that's in that office or in that workspace. We're going to bypass me saying that word. This is good. That was funny. Thank you, Lisa. Barrett, yes, Tiff, the grifter, was stunned by the walkout. She was stunned by the walkout at the recent third meeting, and she became slightly unhinged. Well, you could definitely see that she was unhinged because if you notice, she's looking to I would say the right of her, and the people who sit on the right of her was like her supporters and the people who worked for the township. Now, the residents were really on the left-hand side, but she never acknowledged the resident who actually was sitting on the left side of her. She constantly was talking to the people on the other side, which was disrespectful, but it's always been disrespectful. Let's for some appreciation and hit that like button, please. No, Lisa mean show. Let's show some appreciation and hit that like button. Thank you, Lisa. I love you some, Lisa. Tiffany just mad she didn't get any. I know that's right. I'll be mad too. Hey, Shay Shay's in the house, y'all. William Moore handpicked his victims. Definitely. Did you watch that video? Do you watch the video when he's actually in the meetings and he has that camera on the side of him and he walks slowly from side to side and give all this little weird stares at you? I'm like, what is going on in this place? Sharon, some people had issue with Jason saying that, but it is so true. Everyone doesn't the creator own creator. Everyone doesn't the creator. Only true God. Some follow Satan, false preachers, and teachers. Facts. Jason speaks as a wise man. Facts. And that statement right there. I'm not to pin your statement. I did the wrong one, y'all. That's a true statement right there. Some people follow, even with watching or being on YouTube and following people like it's really scary. I always think of Jim Jones, so I'd never really try to get too into people like that. Hey, Justin. Lisa Lee, you can practice timing me if I get out of hand. I'm here to support the channel reporting the evil brought by Henyard. I know that's right.
Prayerfully and hopefully that the meeting. So I remember specifically the prayer being about unity and bringing folks together. And then I got the police chief dumping on us, the mayor dumping on us. And then this guy is giving a prayer that just really hurt my spirit. So when being attacked at a certain point in time, I really was calling out each and every one of them that's making statements that I know they were encouraged to make by the mayor's office, but at the same time, we have to start keeping it straightforward on what we're talking about. Stop trying to pretend that you weren't instructed to say something against the board. Stand up to what's right. So it was several things, but I do remember that.
You gotta love Jason. He just so honest, like an honest person, and you could see the honesty in him. Now, if ever something come out as negative, I wouldn't believe it. I'm just saying. Okay. Justin, you're good. That's what Lisa Lee said. Harold said, I hope Jason demands the return of the overtime pay from loser Lacey. Isn't there a couple of people who receive overtime pay? And Louis Lacey definitely wasn't supposed to get that overtime. And that was straight greed. William Morris, too busy carrying his purse. No, he's too busy carrying her purse. A Gemini 2 butterfly. Once House gets in as mayor, it's going to take time to straighten things out. Yes, the village will need to be patient. I just came through downtown Dalton. It's a lot of cars, but I couldn't figure out where these cars were coming from. I said, I wonder, do Tiffany know somebody's having a party somewhere downtown Dalton? Always watch where William Moore sits by the podium. R.A. Mike. Sharon, Moore was with Tiff and her crew as they sang and danced around a broomstick. Really? And the thing is, ain't he a preacher? I would expect more from William Moore because he's a minister. Michael, Tiffany can have plastic surgery. It did wonders for Michael Jackson. Oh, you're so wrong. Hey, I appreciate each and everyone who are in the room today. But can we please get my likes up? I'm just asking. Thank you. Hey, Lisa Lee, what's up with those $100,000 jobs Tiffany hires? Hey, listen, I said the same thing.
That the early part was another meeting where I'm listening to the prayer. I'm thinking that maybe this is the meeting, and then it came across even more vicious, and that just wasn't the time.
Yeah. Next question I got: what is the current state of the village finances right now?
Village finances is a challenge, big challenge. And I'm saying that we have more bills than we have money. So that's always a challenge. So it's going to take some unique financial abilities. It's going to take collaborations to get us up out of.
Dang, they in trouble. Hey, CL Smooth, I honestly stopped watching at Grace Levi because of this very topic. No one in the last Thornton meeting was wrong for not wanting to hear Mr. Moore praying. Hey, they say you can't let everybody pray for you, and you can't let everybody put their hands on you to pray. So I didn't see anything wrong with it. I think that Tiffany Henry put him up there knowing that it was going to cause a controversy. And really, that's what she's really good at, right? Like was this to what Jason House was saying, that she does stuff to incite people to be arguing back with each other, back and forth. So, hey, Michael, when Lori Life would give her report, Tiffany would do everything in her power to stop it. Really, nothing she can do about it. Life can go on the internet and just still give the same report. She can't stop it. And she needs to stop going to court because the judge is going to get her again. So she might as well just sit down, shut up, and get ready for the next election time. You get a chance after you clean up all that stuff you got. Tiffany has to have a phone. Yeah. Send Tiffany Ozempic. Oh, okay. Well, she's really not a big lady. She's small. She's petite.
Here, I don't want to call it, and I refuse to call it doom and gloom. The village general fund brings in about $27 million per year. So at $27 million per year, there's a path forward, but you have to make sure that you're managing it properly and efficiently, and we can get out of this mess. But we are in a bad state. Lori's report showed at that point in time about $3.5 million worth of debt. And we're slowly working towards correcting that, but that's going to take some time.
Oh, so he said so far they $3.5 million in debt. They probably don't really know the extent of it because they probably don't get all of the bills or see all of the bills. It's a town hall meeting. Where is the town hall meeting at Bella 61? Because I saw that all those cards at. I did. Today is Friday anyway. I saw it at the Park District and I saw it downtown of Dalton. Shay at CL Smooth. I stopped too for that very reason. They couldn't understand why not. I didn't like that. Everybody shouldn't be praying for you. Their prayer was a PR stunt. And I kind of felt, because I was at the meeting, so it did seem kind of like this was definitely something, you could tell this was a setup. But also, I'm going to say everybody has the right. If you don't, nobody should tell you how you should pray or who you have to pray for you. It's your own journey and your own walk. So we have to, let people live and let them do what they want to do. I don't know why everybody want to kind of, treat us like kids or something. I don't get that part, Sharon. That's why she was so mad at the last meeting. Those inflated salaries are out the window. Those salaries are crazy high. I said, wait a minute, what kind of education? You need no education to get these 6-figure jobs? Man, I would have took it. Is Tiffany a church member? That's a good question. We don't know that, do we? Gemini, to Butterfly, those $100,000 jobs are loyalty pay. The pay keeps them on her side. They know they would not get paid like that anywhere else. And that's a true fact. True fact. Tiffany can call in a threat. Well, I wouldn't suggest her doing that, because if they backtrack that and it comes from her phone, she's definitely going to be in trouble. First of all, or even her goons would do that. Second of all, at that last Dalton meeting, I saw the Cook County Sheriff. They were at the meeting. They was in the parking lot. So they're not playing about this right now. Larry, everybody makes this lady happy. Let's raise the likes to the numbers of watching. Tell them, Larry, I appreciate you, Larry. Get these people moving around here. All the people in the bushes, they just sitting there. I'm just kidding. The Lightfoot meeting. They said it's going to be on the 27th. Oh, I heard it. Someone said it's not going to be a regular meeting. Oh, with this to Burt Odelson, but it's not going to be a regular meeting on the 27th. So definitely going to be there for that, and we get there early for it too. Michael, Tiffany has to have a bad back. Her ankles are usually behind her. Michael. See us move exactly as Shay. It was done to bring hateful emotions out. True. No, she is not a church member. Oh, I didn't know that. She did something to block or shut down churches in Dalton. Oh, I remember that. They was trying to get it. I remember that. The prayers backfired. Nobody's going for it anymore. Nope. Whenever the Lightfoot report is, whatever the Lightfoot report is, it better be a large room. It's going to be at the field house, because everyone wants to be there to hear what she has. I'm about to get there early because I hate sitting in that back because I can't hear or see. Sad part, the salary is why folks care. She abused it. Definitely. And that's a lot of back door. They're going to end up in jail with this stuff. Tiff was saying Dalton wasn't in a deficit for a long time. Then she called an emergency meeting to pay bills for an emergency fund. Low down, dirty shame. She called a liar though. If Tiffany wanted to know, send her to Studio 54. Oh, okay. Pull out the bushwhacker. That happened in Outer Creek, and they were never caught.
Time. It's going to take some assistance with some of our state representatives, our state senators, collaborative partnerships, and we have to really know how to maneuver all those things to get that path forward, and we're going to get there.
So we ain't talking about turning it over to the state, huh?
My intention is.
Oh, that was a jab. Did y'all hear that one? Did y'all hear that? Did y'all get it? That was a jab. You know that was a jab too. That was a jab to Cassandra, who's running for Thornton Township. No, Dalton mayor.
$1 per year. So at $27 million per year, there's a path forward. But you have to make sure that you're managing it properly and efficiently, and we can get out of this mess. But we are in a bad state. Lori's report showed at that point in time about $3.5 million worth of debt. And we're slowly working towards correcting that. But that's going to take some time. It's going to take some assistance with some of our state representatives, our state senators, collaborative partnerships, and we have to really know how to maneuver all those things to get that path forward, and we're going to get there.
So we ain't talking about turning it over to the state, huh?
My intention is not
never
to turn it over to the state.
One thing I want to say that as a trustee, when I first got elected, I sat down with you, came to your job, and you broke down the finances, where the money, this is the MFT fund, this is the general fund, this is where this is coming from. And that was really helpful, because it's hard when you get in, you got to have enough, as they say, intellectual curiosity to really break down the taxpayers' money and where it comes from. And you broke it down for me in such a very easy way to understand where we're at when I first came in. So I want to thank you for that.
Appreciate it.
The next question is, what motivated you to bring Lori Lightfoot in? Why? Because you know what they say. Well, if FBI is there, why we need Lori Lightfoot?
A few different things. Now, the meeting.
Actually, this is a very good interview. And really, this is what we really needed and was looking for in understanding a candidate. And like Lisa Lee said, let me show you. Lisa said, she said, oh, here it is. Lisa, and she's right. The town needs super serious candidates. Exactly. Cassandra, if you're in the bushes, not saying that it's true or not, but Jason Howes is a serious candidate. And because he's been in the trenches in Dalton, he understands finances. And his first thing is not saying, I'm going to turn it over to the state. Do you think that the state got time to be trying to govern us town? That should never be. Okay. Gemini, I can't wait for Lori Lightfoot Part 2. I hope everything is told if she wasn't blocked. Tiffany ain't gonna mess with that woman. If she part of the was she a prosecutor with the federal government? You better leave Lori Lightfoot alone. Michael, Tiffany is a churchgoer. She was still Jesus off a cross and go back to the nails. Oh, that's deep, Michael. Okay. The town needs, I agree with you on that one. Hey, Carolina, I'm so happy to see you. Oh my gosh. I'm here, finally. Hey, my friends. I'm sure everyone has already liked, subscribed, and shared, so no reminders needed. Thank you, my love. Gemini 2 Butterfly. If she hand it to the state, that's the craziest thing. I've never heard that before. The state would run the village and they will lose their job. No need for them for that. That is so true. That was just like I don't know. That was a thoughtless answer. What had Tiffany done that only a mayor has the power to do for the people? I don't have an answer for that one, but that's a good question. Oh, Sharon, do you remember months ago before Delgado left? He said Dalton was not going to be insurable. Fast forward, the townships not insured. Common denominator? Speak on it. Lisa, good question. That's a very good question. We need to pin that question too. $40,000 on Amazon in minutes. And folks do care when your utilities are rising. That's a felony. Facts. Because it's been cold here, so that heat been going. But Lisa's right. You're on it. What had Tiffany done that only a mayor has the power to do for the people? What's the answer?
The previous meeting that we had was a special board meeting. It was right after the TV announcement or the event talking about the allegations of rape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to make sure I'm wording this properly, forgive my part. But it's right after that. And as a board member, we heard nothing about it. We don't know what our risk is, our exposure. Can't get any answers from the administrator or from the administration, senior team. They're not giving us any answers. So we go to that meeting and we announce.
Did I not hit the play button?
That we're going to be looking at having an investigation.
Button. Okay, let's go back. Okay. Hey, Coffrey, Lord, he will win. Yes, I drove through Dalton today, and a lot of people have House 2025 in their yards. Mayor House has a new serious fan base here in Birmingham, Alabama. Hit those like buttons, guys. Yes, Bella, tell him. It's not bingo. Tell it, Lisa. Tiffany tried to get a $4 million loan. Trustee said, hell no, but show up anyway. Hmm.
Into all these matters.
Yeah.
Everybody everybody there was excited. Yes, we need it, and of course we know that there's an FBI investigation going on, but you never know how long that's going to take. Many times it take 4, 5, and 6 years, and in the condition we're at, we don't have that amount of time to try to figure things out. So we announce it. It's extremely well received by the residents. So fast forward a couple of weeks. We have the opportunity for former Mayor Lightfoot to come out, and her background as a federal prosecutor is what caught me the most. I thought that was extremely powerful, and then the fact that she was a mayor as well means that you have two different hats that are very relevant to what's going on in Dalton. So we felt like, from a skill set perspective and a reputation as being forceful, that those skills were going to be needed here in Dalton.
Yeah. So how did the Lori Lightfoot report help?
It helped in several ways. When you have when you have the Lori Lightfoot coming in with her background and knowledge, it applied more pressure that was needed to start getting documentation. It gave us answers that we didn't have before. So many of the reports that we couldn't get to, now we started to get a picture, and a big picture or glaring picture of the financials. In addition to that, it started to ease some of the tension or make the employees and the staff feel like they can begin cooperating with the board. So many of the documents that we have access to now, we didn't have that before then. So I think that it gave us a couple of different advantages that we didn't. And I say us, it's not, I always pause. I never want to speak about this as trustees versus mayor. It gave us as a community information that we were entitled to, that we deserved, and we wanted to really make sure that we make the most of it.
Well, can you think back, when did they stop? I think this gets lost in the shuffle. When did they stop sending over reports? I think we documented they just were not sending over the financials.
They just refuse to send over reports. That's really unprofessional, to be honest, to do that. This really, it's really heartbreaking. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're making it worse for the residents. She used that emergency fund months ago. Like, it's really, she really doesn't understand business, right? She doesn't understand how one thing can be a catastrophe and it goes from years. I was just listening to some on for about CPS and how they took this loan out. Like, they I don't know why they just love taking loans out. I don't understand why. I hate taking a loan out for anything. And I try my best, but I can't pay cash on it because I know it establishes your credit and everything. But I would pay it all before you be paying more than what you should be paying for it. I'm just saying, using this loan thing is they need to stop. But that's probably the only thing that's going to help fix Dalton to get them back on track. And we'll see how many more years did they have to pay on that water bill to Chicago. They're still paying that back money to Chicago.
Statements. I mean, that's such a big thing.
All the way until last month, we were receiving monthly financial reports. This month, we did not receive a monthly financial report the way that we traditionally would. When we talk about the deficit, last fiscal year through May, the deficit was $2.5 million in our operating account. This year, through the report we got, which was September 30th, I pulled that up as you were speaking. So from May through September, there was an additional $4.2 million of deficit. So you couple those two together, the deficit is growing and it's approaching.
Somebody needs to explain how you got $4 million in a deficit, and then you got another million at the Thornton Township. Where are you doing? What are you doing with this money? That's why the trustees are why we have trustees, to maintain the checks and the balances. This is getting out of control, people. This is scary. Yes, but and just think about the taxes that's going to have to go up to pay for these people to try to get back on track.
7 million.
Imagine not getting the financial reports of the town. It's almost if you're in a house with a husband and a wife, and the husband's just spending money, and the wife manages the money, and the husband's saying, I'm not going to give you no reports. I'm going to just show you what I'm spending. I'm going to show you what I'm going to buy and deal with it, and I'm not going to give you no credit card statements, nothing. When did that start?
Well, we had, again, we used to talk about the committee reports, and every month we'll come with the report. So from our experience being on the committees, we know each month we need to show up and report what's going on, and that's what we're doing for the residents. I would say maybe around 6 months into there, we would come in and we would still get the financial report, and every month, even with the committee report being stripped off the agenda, I would go in general comments. Well, this month we're 300,000 in the hole. At the time, I'm just highlighting it because it's a point that we need to notice. Take note, because we're going in the wrong direction. Next month will come to $1 million for the year.
Damn.
Next month it was 1.6.
So you're right. It has to be those overtime, because how can it go up to 4 million that fast? Like it seemed like every month it was going up. 4 million deficit in Dalton, but say there's a 4 million surplus in Thornton Township. I mean, things that make you go, because she's doing too much in two different places. And I wouldn't be surprised. And you could tell me not whoever her bodyguards were for Dalton, I bet you Thornton Township was paying for some of them bodyguards. I thought grant money stopped coming in because Tiffany hasn't submitted expense report. I haven't submitted a budget, a signed budget.
And there would be the back and forth argument. Oh, no, we're not. But I would, have the document in my hand.
That's when they start.
To say, well, if I'm wrong, I'll do it. And of course, with your skill, you will take it and highlight it, and we will be able to post it to show that there's a genuine place where this report is coming from. So after we consistently kept reporting that that we were going further in the hole, they just stopped sending it to us. It's like, oh, well, I guess the thought process was we're giving the trustees and the community information that we didn't intend to. So they just stopped sending it. Of course, knowing our responsibility, I'm going to report whether you give it to me or not. I'm going to report when you give it. I'm going to tell you what it is. And if I'm not getting it, I'm going to make sure I report that we're no longer getting it, because that's our obligation as well, so that the residents understand if I'm not answering your questions, it's not from a lack of desire. It's because I'm not getting the information, and we should all be concerned.
Yeah.
Watching this video gives you an anxiety, because she just she doing whatever she want with that money. She act like she done won the lottery.
And that's what that would inspire. You talk about why did the meetings have to start happening at the Park District? Because that's where we put a lot of this stuff out there, because she was canceling every committee, the whole meeting. And we had to come to the Park District to kind of really talk about the reports that we did or didn't have.
And as you talk about the transition to Park District, there's a couple of other things in there too, because that even started early on when we talk about where the chaos comes from. The very first meeting, residents were told, instead of doing citizens address where they can ask questions and you respond, they were told, we're not doing that anymore. You're gonna comment, we'll get back to you whenever, as soon as we can, or something that wasn't being responsive. So we actually looked and shifted the meetings to the Park District. That's where we started off with the trustees, so that residents can have a place where their questions can be asked, and we can respond to them, and we can respond to them in a calm environment instead of the toxic environment that the board meeting went to.
I like that. I have to stop again. And because I am doing a review, so I can't just play the video straight through his interview. But I like the fact how, again, I appreciate a grown up conversation. You see, they're having conversation, they're not going at each other, and they're really giving out real information, and you're not having to fight for it. You got to respect. I respect real conversation with real people and just being genuine about what you're doing and what you're talking about, and not BS the people. Because that's what people really want. They don't want to be BS. They want to know what they need to know because this affects your pockets. It affects how you feed your children, how you eat next month, next year, because your property taxes could be it's probably 10,000 this year, could go to 15,000 next year. That's another bill. And I think that's the one thing people are really missing when they do this such crazy stuff that has been done.
From there, we're grateful, super grateful to the Park District for their partnership, because then that also opened the door for our board meetings to come, and where we can have that kind of dialogue in a more peaceful place and an environment that can accommodate those with ADA needs, and really just opening up the door for other opportunities.
And keep in mind, remember we got locked out the boardroom. We had to have a board meeting in the parking lot, and then remember we had got inside and they pulled a phony file.
One thing about Jason House, he lost a lot of weight since this video. He is not as big as that. I saw him in person. He's definitely slimmed down a lot.
Fire alarm, just so we wouldn't have a meeting. This is real things that happen.
And sometimes you have to laugh at your pain.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what makes our story so, it's such like, can't turn away from TV, because these are things that we really should not be discussing or going through, not in a responsible government. But yet, we've been faced with it. And then as a board, we have to find a way to kind of overcome, and then trying to do it in a way that we have dignity. It becomes really, really difficult.
Yeah.
But we're here.
I do want to hit a point that just came to me. I remember at one point they was pushing, we got to get a bond. We got to get a bond. We got to get bonds. Everybody get bonds. Everybody get bonds. Wait. And you said that one time real strong, poorly ran government that ran off bonds and loans. Talk about that.
What's really... It's just going to require a mentality shift, because the agenda that they were pushing is that government runs off debt. Government runs off debt. And it's...
How does government runs off debt? How do you ever be whole if we run it off debt? Even if I'm where I live, in my household, if I'm running off debt, at some point that debt runs out. That trying to rob Peter to pay Paul.
So easy to accept, because we know that the country has a national debt. Yeah. And so that was a really easy narrative to sell. But in local governments, it doesn't have to be that way. And there's other communities that run themselves fiscally responsible. So my point there is then that government doesn't run off debt. Poorly run governments run off of debt. So you don't intentionally just go and say, okay, we're going to go get a bond. Bond should have a purpose. And we need to explain how we're going to get the money, what we're going to spend it on. And if we're doing it but with the best of intentions, hopefully we're doing it for a new project that's going to last in the community for 100 years, and we have to pay on it over 20 years. But just the agenda being pushed, we're just going to get a bond, government runs off a bond. I just rejected that statement, and I still do.
Man, good stuff. When is the next Lori Lightfoot report?
The next Lori Lightfoot report, we are expecting to have it before the end of January. I think that we'll be looking to try to announce that at our next board meeting, but we just want to finalize the details.
Okay. And what do you expect out this next one?
The report is honestly an independent report. Yeah. So while we may provide...
now that I've heard this part, this is going to be deep when that report comes out, because he knows what's in the report.
People that we think should be interviewed or spoken with, Lori's first report, she kind of ran off and followed the evidence where it took her. And I expect this to be the same thing. We may get a brief preview a few days ahead of time, if at all, but we want it to be an independent report that people can really get facts that we did not steer the direction of it.
All right. So next up,
Wow.
Mayor Jason House. What inspired you this time to run for mayor?
I'm inspired by the residents. And when I say the residents, the way that we, of course, as a board, but also the community have all come together. I think that we have a great team. And
You know what I'm gonna say about Jason House, and I don't know his journey or where he's going after this, but he reminds me of when I first met Barack Obama when he was first running for as senator, and he had came to our church, and I heard him speak, and I was like, wow, he going somewhere. And really, if you think about it, Jason House has that same temperament. I'm just saying, when people really love a person or a candidate, you can see that who's going to be the next, what or whoever, who's. Because he knows how to stay calm in a moment of crisis, but also be like people person. You know what I'm saying? He's like a person you can relate to. Relatable. That's what I'm getting at.
And as we sit down and we talk about what our next direction is, I can really see a vision where we can have financial stability, where we can work together, or Dalton can be the community that, not just the community it was, but grow into the next generation of representing everybody with pride.
Mm-hmm. And keep in mind, you got the most votes out of anybody last election. You got more votes than the mayor did.
So I want to give credit to credit that gets overlooked. Clerk Key actually had the most votes. Yeah. Clerk Key had 100 more votes than I did, and I don't believe she gets overlooked. But I will say that as I talk about the last election,
I agree, Lisa Lee. I could see him running for a greater office after Dalton. And thank you, Caroline. I was going to put that in the comments. Appreciate you. Keep me honest. And I'm going to make that a survey question also.
Yeah, every 4 years you work hard, and if you pay attention to the residents, you hope that they appreciated the work you did, and then the votes will speak for it. So I would say that it's humbling and gratifying that during that election, I was able to get that level of votes. Mm-hmm. And as we come into this election, I've done everything that I can to be a good trustee or be a good steward, and also work with our residents and work with our board members. So I'm prayerful, hopeful, while expecting, because I know some people say walk in your purpose. But you really want to put yourself out on the line and just make sure that we're doing everything we can to win the hearts of the community and do right by them.
Yeah. Could you hit the point of people say, why the fighting? And you said, I heard you say one time that when you see the money being blown the way it is, if there's no chaos, the people won't pay attention. Talk about that.
Well, why the fighting is, we started off over 5 million in a surplus. As the Lori Lightfoot's report drew some criticism, got a lot of praise, but I have not heard anybody say that they're contradicting the numbers that were presented.
Mm. What's next you can see is a graphic that depicts where we started as of April, where the village started as of April of 22, with positive of $5.6 million in the general fund.
Let's get those like buttons up.
And where we are as of May of 2024, which is a negative 3.65 million.
Damn. She started in April 2021. And every year she was eating away and creating a deficit. And like someone said, a lot of those bodyguard securities were receiving overtime, extra money. This is just crazy, out of control. It makes no sense in government.
And that showed over $5 million of surplus in 2022 to over $3 million, which is a $9 million swing in less than 2 years. As a trustee, we are obligated to make sure that the community knows. And if you have $9 million that's been blown in that amount of time, there's supposed to be tension. You're not supposed to have peace and calm. We got to figure out what's going on. I mean, I would say if I thought about it, like, let's say that husband and wife, you got a reserve checking account that you do for emergencies, $5,500 put in there just for those emergencies. You're not paying attention. You know, I got an emergency stash. And then you come back later, you discover spouse has been writing checks. And then when you finally look at
Hey, that's a great way to end a marriage. Real quickly about that finance.
the account, you got $3,500 overdrawn.
Damn.
How would you feel? That means that that's $9,000 that went in a swing. And not only that, to make it worse, that's $9 million I didn't even have. So out of the $9 million you spent, I got $3,500 I got to go and make up. Yeah, I think I would be upset. I think anybody would be upset. Now take that from thousands and make it millions, which is what Dalton is facing.
Good point. You get hit with the insufficient funds.
Man, don't you just like how he just puts them words down and make it make sense? Make it make sense. Tell her she need to take a page out of Jason's house book on how to talk to individuals to make them understand what you're trying to say. He's doing a very excellent job. I love it. Let you take that much money out of my account or our account. We'll be divorced. I ain't playing. I know what they say, but I can't do it.
You go to your mobile banking is negative $3,000.
Yeah. Damn.
You see all these checks, and then the husband says, "Oh no, I look what I bought. Look what I bought. Don't pay attention to that."
That's right.
And you how dare you question me about how I'm spending the money? Yeah, that's real. Why would your leadership be different? What would be different about your leadership in the mayor position?
It would be truly inclusive. And I'm talking truly inclusive in terms of making sure that we have our committees, the committees are running, and it's something that I feel that we're demonstrating right now. This is not something that we're talking as a hypothetical. If we look at the board meetings when Ms. Henry's present and when she's not present, the way that those meetings are run is smooth. Everybody talks to one another. Sometimes we have disagreements. Sometimes we pull things off the agenda, but at all times we work together to have a meeting that is dignified for the community. Separate from that, we open the doors of communication for the residents during those meetings. If they have a question, we respond to the question. If we can't get the answer right then, we get back to those residents. But it's open communication, it's done in a smooth way. And that's just step one of the things that we can do, because as we start to work together, then we start getting things done in each one of the committees. And it's not going to be done because one person. Jason House is no savior, and I'm not trying to pretend to be the savior. I think.
Hey, Carolina, I remember a video, I just saw it again recently about Mr. Tyrone. We call him Tyrone. That's what Cooking with Frank calls him. Oh, he said we're going to stop calling him Tyrone. Okay. DeMarcus, I saw a video of him when he was a little bit younger, and it was the one he talks about that he has 11 children. But at this time, he didn't seem to be on Tiffany's like bandwagon. He was just like he came to the meetings and tried to get some understanding because he had property in Dalton. So I think he's always had properties, but I think he's probably has gained more properties since leaving Dalton.
That we as a team have so much talent, and if we know the skills that are on this board, Brittany with real estate, Tammy with human resources and knowledge of business, yourself with videography, communication, Kiana Belcher, background in police as well as finance.
I know
Her
that.
Kia with her experience in housing CHA. I mean, the talent is there. It's always been there. It's just being able to pull that out of each one of us. And when I say that about us as board members, let's look at the talent that's come to the table with the residents that have come to support us. Well, you got Dan Lee and his ability and his tenacity is really what led us to get assistance with the Attorney General. We weren't getting the answers that he'll selflessly, I'm sure he'll talk about the team of people that he had working with him. Sherry Hatcher, Mary Avant, Valeria Stubbs, former trustees. We have some of the former trustees that are working collectively and in support of us. Former trustee Valeria Stubbs, former trustee Robert Pearson, former trustee Dwayne Muhammad. You also have a former mayor that we've been able to kind of open up doors and have communication, all being able to work together for one purpose.
Okay. Well, I didn't know. I always thought that the former mayor had passed away. I don't know why I thought because he had a heart attack, he passed away. But he just said that they still work with the former mayor. You know, they all working together. They finna get her out of there. She finna be gone. She finna, her parents gonna sell that house and they gonna, she fly back to the west side of Chicago.
And one goal. And as we pull at all those talents, because I've always been told, if you want to know the answer to the answers to the question are right in the room. If you just sit back, listen long enough, and you'll be able to pull it. And this community has attorneys, CPAs, laborers. The answers are in this community. We just have to bring the right group together so that we can push it forward.
This is definitely a we team. That's how you. Jason is definitely the inclusive person. He listens to everybody. It is not a my way to highway type deal. The team of trustees is really inclusive. What do you think? And let's come up with the best idea. And let's talk before we get to the board meeting.
I'm sure he was great to work with, Jason House, because he didn't seem like authoritative. You know, everybody input matters. I guess he didn't have a restaurant business.
So you don't have all that back and forth.
That's right.
That's the way good governments run. And you kind of hit on it. You talked about the
Yes, Sharon. Mayor Riley, he definitely tried to get Tiffany here, Stan Brown, and Robert recall in 2017. Now, the mayor lost that case. However, they won. However, they still lost because the judge said they went to the Supreme Court and the appellate court, and it got brought back down because they said they used the wrong law to sue. They used the civil rights law, and this wasn't a civil rights matter. I'm like, who was your attorney back then? He said Jimmy Walker. He's not that tall though. The lawsuit they have on Dalton back are why the big law firms have left them. Can they get insurance to pay the lawsuits? Tiffany gonna need a layaway plan to pay that lawsuit. Them lawsuits.
Team, the people that's running with you.
Yes.
Which includes myself, Brittany Norwood, Kiana Belcher, and Allison.
It's a cute outfit she got on.
Talk about the economic plan for the village.
So, of course, we know that the economic development plan is going to be a critical part of it. And as we talk, I want to hit on platform, as you mentioned, before kind of going into this one, because there are the 5 parts that we're trying to look at. One, which I'm big on, is changing the narrative of Dalton. That's first and foremost. Second, of course, being economic development. Third, financial stability. Fourth, improve our infrastructure. And fifth, being public safety. So those are the 5 points that we really want to make sure that we're hitting on. I'm going to come back to changing the narrative of Dalton before going into economic development, because I really, I'm really first. I wanted to talk about changing the culture of Dalton. Another resident, Kevin Bowen, came up with the slogan, changing the narrative of Dalton. So I want to make sure I'm giving him his due credit
Justin.
in doing that. But what that does speak to is changing our culture. For the last 12 years, Dalton has been divided. It's been known for board versus mayor, board versus mayor, board versus mayor. And we have to really come back to work on being inclusive of one another. And when you have board versus mayor, that starts putting residents, I got to pick a side. I got to pick a side here. I got to pick a side there. Who do I choose? And then you see a lot of viciousness, not only between the board and the mayor, it carries over to the employees, it carries over to the residents. And we're trying to figure out how do we be disagreeable and civil. And that's going to be so important. So we have to embrace some of the hard conversations. We have to be able to be in the room with each other. Everybody is a part of this. Everybody is a part of this equation. And because of the level of dysfunction that Dalton faces, it's expanded beyond just the board and the mayor and the residents. Now we have people from Texas and Georgia and everybody weighing in. And I keep hearing this statement of, okay, well, those are outsiders and insiders. No, they are part of Dalton's story now. And I think we need to learn to embrace that and listen to what people say and make the best of it. Because while they're a part of the story now, we want them to be a part of the story as we transition and become a better community. And inviting people to come and help us, because clearly we need help. But it first starts with us, being able to be vulnerable and transparent enough.
He definitely know how to talk with the people, get on a level where people can understand, and understanding what are the real issues there.
To recognize that we have challenges that we're going to work on and we're going to fix.
Dude, you're good point. Give me an example of that one thing that y'all recently done to really encourage transparency with the Dalton website.
Well, Dalton website, after the Lori report, after we started getting the some employees more comfortable that the board is there to protect and help them out, we've been able to get access to Village of Dalton website, and we've made some changes to the website. So we're now posting up there on financials going back anywhere from 4 to 6 years, warrant list, any warrant list that we have, any information that we're able to get our hands on, we'll put on the website. In the interim, residents, if they would email me, and it may be things that would normally take a FOIA, but because I knew that FOIAs weren't being responded to, if I had access to it, I would send it to them to circumvent the FOIA need, because we really are trying to make sure that people know we don't have anything to hide as we come to the meeting.
Hey, this is how it's supposed to be done. Doors are locked on the Dalton building. What is her plan? I didn't realize it was locked like that.
Say we don't have it. If we didn't have it, we couldn't provide it. But if we could, I felt that people were entitled to it. And that's whether there's somebody that's supportive, not supportive. It's a government document that we can provide. We should do that.
Man, we can't hit that point enough. If we spent it in this record, the residents should have it. So the new website has gone back, you say 4 or 5 years?
Yes.
So recently when residents been saying, oh, there's stuff on the warrant list, it's because of the trustees have actually put the warrant list on the website.
Give credit to the staff.
Give credit to the staff.
Give credit.
The staff put the actual down because this administration didn't want none of that records out there. And so that is a one clear proof that they believe in transparency and open government. You have nothing to hide.
It's a step in the right direction. I don't want to just take credit over a website, and it's just showing progress. I think we have many phases, and I don't want to take too much credit for something that people are entitled to. But I will say that yes, it is. If we're looking for signs of where we're heading and what we want to do, that is a step showing that of what we're working on doing.
Yeah. I think it's a big thing because there's been years of non-transparency and hiding documents, and then at the same time hiding them and then publicly saying they have everything.
That's right.
That's crazy.
So let's talk about, as we come to a close, talk about your
Hey, don't forget to hit that like and don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Truly appreciate it.
Economic plan for the village.
We have several different things. And as I talked about the platform, of course, economic development is going to be on there. We want to be really clear as we talk about these points. Everybody's platform, when they come into these positions or when they run for it, they're going to say, I'm going to do economic development, I'm going to do public safety, I think changing the culture is probably maybe one that's a little bit more unique. We're going to do stuff for the youth. So I think we really need to make sure that we can talk about people who really can execute
Yes,
on what they're going to do as well. And as far as economic development, we have already started. We had tea with the trustees where we introduced a developer that's looking at doing something on the west end of town, 147th and Harvard, talking about mixed-use commercial buildings along with condos on the top end,
Really?
townhomes that can be done beautifully. And we introduced that to the residents to get feedback.
Oh, that's gonna be nice because I don't know if you know this, but I think there's a little lake over there in Dalton. I don't know if it's a lake or a pond, but it's water over there. So that would be nice. Oh, that would change the game. I think whatever they do to change what's in Dalton, it's going to be a reflection, and other township around there will start doing the same. She should have been on this. She needed him for a mentor. I'm just saying.
Instead of just coming and forcing it down their throat. We've also talked with a gentleman that for the last 6 years had been looking to do a new project over at Needles Park, a nice stadium sports facility. It's in the infancy phases, but it sounds like there's some good progress there. We have two businesses, one being LFI. I'm sure LFI wouldn't mind us talking about it because he's had a lot of challenges. But that's the business that brought the Food for Less into our community.
Oh,
and they have some other proposals that can be out there once the village is stabilized and able to move things forward. And that's somebody that we've worked well with over the last, really, I would say I've worked well with them over the last 8 years. We have a couple of businesses that are waiting on us to stabilize. I will not name because they are in fear of their business licenses being developed. You got Dr. Scott, who has that wonderful plaza in downtown Dalton, free indeed, but that whole mall is 40,000 square feet.
Yeah, that's big.
And she has a wonderful plan, nonprofit businesses. She has a thrift store going in there. So that's another one that's already shovel ready to go, making sure that as soon as we come in, we should start seeing some action. So those are just infancy plans without going into the big box stores and those kind of talks that we need to have to further. But I see no reason why Sibley can't look like Halsted does over there in Homewood and have businesses up and down there. It should look that way. So you look at some of the new developments, even on Torrance, what they got in Lansing, studying some of the things they're doing and what we can bring over into Dalton.
Yeah, and it starts with stable government.
Absolutely.
It starts with stable government. And could you also hit on the the services for the seniors and the programs and stuff like that?
Programs for the senior are absolutely necessary. I've been talking with them on the phone in the recent weeks. That's a big thing. And those are things that we need to continue. We need to make sure our seniors are taken care of. We need to do our wellness checks, and we will make sure that money is always allocated in the budget for senior services to make sure that they're able to get what's necessary.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I want to hit? I know you hit at one board meeting. You talked about you shouldn't have to get a lawyer to get a business license. Could you explain that a little bit?
What we've discovered in the process of getting business licenses is that the business owners will come in, they'll apply for their business license, and they're having the same challenge with liquor license. But it was even more absurd when we talked about business licenses. To come in a process that should take no more than 3 days, they're coming back weeks and weeks and weeks, up to 6 and 7 months. So the board, when recognizing this challenge,
That is crazy. See, she really missed the boat where she could have done well and did a good service to the communities and like you said, be in the history books on someone who's done something great. Now she's going to go down in the history books as someone who caused chaos problems, and this is what we won't accept in a township or a town. But here we go.
Decided that we would implement the ordinance that says that these things will come and get voted on by the board. So we were successful in approving more than 20 business licenses for people that were having a difficult time because they needed those licenses to get their insurance renewals and other state government licenses.
Hit that like and subscribe.
And these are big big name stores. One of them was Menards, which is
Yeah,
one of the anchor stores
Menards.
of our community. So I think that the process for
Mm.
getting a license needs to be much more friendly, much more efficient. That's our job, is to make sure we create an environment where our businesses can succeed. And once we create that environment, people will come. They will.
I wonder what are they gonna do? Is that'll be a question for Jason House. What are they gonna do with that Maxwell Polish place that sits there and someone was unalive there and they never went back in Dalton and solved that case. I heard from the widower. She said that they know who did it, but they never went and got that person who unalived her husband. And this Maxwell Polish place is open 24/7, no security, and it's just open. So you liable to get robbed over there. Like even in Chicago, the Maxwell Polish place, it no longer open 24/7. They have to close at a certain time and reopen. It's no longer 24/7. And really, that's what they need to be doing over there at that Maxwell, because that's ridiculous. I stopped eating over there.
Will thrive. But if that environment is much more difficult, then it's not attractive to come to Dalton's. We have to be better stewards to the businesses that come here.
Man, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, on that note, Mayor House, I thank you for sitting down with me and on our channel. Please subscribe to the Dalton Trusty YouTube page.
Please subscribe to the Dalton YouTube page for sure. I'm going to put that in the chat. So now, what was your thoughts on this interview?
We're going to be doing more interviews.
Uh-uh.
I think.
Let's see, how many people have seen this? Only a total of 8,000 people have seen this. Hopefully, they will get more people to come to their page and just don't go to people's page and just be nosy. Go to their page and hit the like button. It's not going to cost you much. Or subscribe. I did subscribe. And subscribe. Don't be like that. Like, you get their numbers up. All right. Hey y'all, hot girl. Hey, got my little eyebrows done, so until they come off again. That's a sad note. Let me get this out of here so we can put it in the Dalton Trustees. I enjoy that. I'm glad I got to see it with you all. There's one more video I want to show before we part tonight. I said I'm going to stop being on here 5 and 6 hours. I'm like, girl, what is you doing? Let's see. Okay. Let me put Dalton Trustees. Sorry. Like and subscribe. I hit the wrong word. Okay, one more. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do this while I remember, because it's not. I go on to the next thing. Special thank you. Okay. It's there for you. So if you don't know, I put it in the button. Hey, Kenny. Hey, greetings. Hey, thank you for stopping by, Kenny. Glad you could stop by. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, Kenny. Because I could tell you new to the clan. Well, I want not clan. To the family. Just saying. Well, Lisa, Lisa, tell them to hit that like button. It's right there, folks. Hit it. And make sure you go to the Dalton Trustees page. I put the link in the bio, and go in there and hit that like button and let them know that you're paying attention. You're here for them. I'm just saying. Oh my God, looking good. Okay, thank you, Carolina. Oh, she got punched in the mouth. Oh, Michael is rough. Hey, Angie RN. She said nothing but a thug in a wig. She said she a thug in a no. She said she's a thug in a wig. She said she's a pit bull in a skirt. Okay, girl. I don't know if I would want to be known as a pit bull in a skirt, but I'll take that. Or refresh my lipstick. Refresh your lipstick. I got a lip balm on, Michael. Men. Let's see. Oh, get your nosy ASS self out those bushes long enough to like and subscribe. Please and thank you. Thank you, my home girl. Welcome, Kenny, to the Grown and Sexy bunch. That's right, we grown and sexy. I like that one. Hey, LaBelle. Just a little info. The Chicago Gas Company is not allowed to shut off gas during the winter months. Facts. So she is lying about people having their gas shut off. You know what, LaBelle? When she said it, I don't even be thinking like, they don't even do that. And she know they don't do that. And really, I'm here. They got to even get, people can go to because they can't get around, can't get no food. Go to the Catholic Charities. It's one in Harvey. And it helps everyone in this community, all the surrounding communities. And also, they got CETA. CETA help pay your bills too. Your back bills and your rent. She got these people fooling. If she gets 90 likes, she might sing for us. Okay, Larry. I might let you come up and sing for us, Larry. How about that? Oh, I know when I see a beautiful woman, I know that's right. She lied. And she continues to lie about that part. A thug in a rug. That hair is getting shaggy. Oh, Lisa. Hey, Paul Roberts, Thornton Township never pays anyone's gas bill. They just tell you how to apply at CETA. And CETA is right down the street from the food dispository, Harvey's disposal. What's it? This where they pass out the food. That's where CETA is. But you better make an appointment. But you're right. And don't forget about the Catholic Charities. They got Catholic Charities out here also. They actually have a lot of different places you can go to help get services. It's not just Thornton Township. And they probably have more people now since that situation. And I just wanted to show, I was doing a little driving around today. I was trying to get to the Chinese restaurant that is on State Line in Calumet City. And I was driving through Dalton. I said, they have a lot of signs in their yard for Jason House. For the House 2025. And hopefully I got it transferred over so I can show you the I took pictures. I was trying to be, not to do too much in people's personal space. Only one picture transfer over. Oh, that sucks. But I'll show you the one I did. Okay. Like I froze. Okay. Let me show y'all. And I have one more. Oh, you're right. Illinois Department of Aging. That's true too. And that's what I can't make this bigger. I don't know why it won't go bigger. But here is it's in people's yards. Everybody, it's up and down. As you driving, you will see this sign in people's front yard. And I should have took a video and then go around on Monday and see if all those signs are still open up there. And let me see. I'm going it. I can't. I don't know why all of them didn't transfer over. But that is it. Okay, so there's one more I want to go over, and then I'm going to let you all go so you can enjoy your weekend. And don't forget, tomorrow at 8 p.m., Stephanie Wiederman will be joining us live. And she's promised me she was going to make it. She had some things that happened, so I knew that. Oh, gosh. Let me do this. I have to open it. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this is it. Okay. Okay. Let me, let's see, let's open this one. Move this over for a second, and I'll bring up the next video that I think is important. It's still one video we still need to watch. We just haven't gotten to it yet, but it look like this story is not going to die anytime soon, so trust me. Why didn't it, oh, was this an article? Oh, it's an article. Hold on, y'all. I emailed it to myself, but I guess I did not. 1 second. Okay. So don't forget to go over to Dalton Trustee's website and to hit that like button for them, please, and thank you. And let me know you saw a review on this channel. Be greatly appreciated. Appreciative. Okay. Let's make this bigger. I found, well, somebody sent it to me, but it was, hold on, let me get back to there. Okay. Good night. Things always go smooth here. Great people. Yes, it's definitely a good night. Oh, let's see. Let me go through this real quick. Let's see. Michael. Oh, gosh. Okay, was here before. I usually always go back to the beginning and catch up. You have a couple of minutes to recap briefly. Facts. Hey, Paul. It's good to see you, and not just your TRO. Okay. Hey, Kathy. Respectfully, everyone knows that Tiffany wasn't Mayor material or Mary material. I just looked at an old trustee. Yeah, I saw the old trustee video, and she was just as worse there as she's here now. Kathy acknowledged, called her out in this most recent township meeting. After Gonzalez and Carlisle joined the meeting, Tiff said, the roll hasn't been called, but it had been called. Oh, she wasn't listening. Good night. Things always go smooth. Good night. You right. This is a good night. I thought you were ending the live. No. I wanted to show you this one video real quickly. Kathy, I don't think she has a deposition or attitude. Disposition to even answer the phone at the town hall, much less run it. Robert asked like he testified of her and her followers. William, the next mayor should be a Rosa Parks or a Martin Luther King. Can't think of anyone who is that lately. Okay, this is on the channel WGN News 720. Burt Odelson, Burt Odelson, the attorney. He did an interview with Lisa Dent on the ongoing drama with Dalton Mayor Tiffany Hilliard. They looked at the dire financial status of Dalton, which could worsen when she leaves office, and by her last-ditch effort to appoint personal acquaintances in office position before the election. So let's listen to this video. Let me know if you don't hear it or not.
Burt Odelson is an attorney who's been involved in many aspects of politics, not just in Chicago, but nationwide. And Burt, I was kind of musing on the air whether the village of Dalton would be in much worse shape financially after this mayor leaves. Like, will they be in debt in a range that they were not in debt before Tiffany Hilliard became mayor?
Easy answer. And Mayor Lightfoot covered that in her first presentation, that when Henyard took office, the village of Dalton had excess surplus funds over $5 million. At the time Mayor Lightfoot gave her report, the village was over $4 million in the red.
Wait a minute. So they had $5 million surplus. That's a positive, and it not $4 million in the red. So you done spent $9 million. Let me know if my math is mathing.
Oh my gosh. So that's a loss of $9 million.
I lost the $9 million. What y'all got to say about that?
I mean, not a loss. But,
back at that time, yeah, it was. And Mayor Lightfoot's going to give her final report January 27th, and I fear that the decline will be even further in the $5 or $6 million minus column.
Dang, he said it should be about $5 or $6 million. I think it has to be more than that. What do you think? Because it was $5 million a negative. It's got to be, because she's not having that security team, so it could be reduced a little.
Which is devastating to a community of that size.
Absolutely, it is. So, Burt, do you represent either of the trustees, Chris Gonzalez or Carmen Carlisle?
No, I do not represent them, but I'm in conversation with Mr. Gonzalez, who is a candidate for re-election on Senator Napoleon Harris's Democratic slate for township. So I am in conference with Mr. Gonzalez, and I basically know what's going on in Thornton, although I'm not intimately involved as I am in Dalton.
Right. So we await our former mayor, Lori Lightfoot's report. The feds are still investigating. We really don't know what they are up to because they play their cards close to the vest. And we know last week when we spoke, Tiffany Henyard didn't show up to meetings, and now it's the trustees who said they're not attending meetings because of security issues. What the heck's going on?
It's a tug of war. Henyard wants to appoint a person that she's very familiar with and friendly with to the vacancy on the board. The trustees do not want her to appoint the particular person because then that would give her the voting edge on the board, and she'd be allowed to continue to minimize the funds that Thornton Township had accumulated over the years. Plus, the trustees in Thornton Township can't get things on the agenda that they want to talk about. They've tried to hold meetings where Henyard doesn't show up. So it's a very sad political tug of war that she has created in Thornton Township as well.
But Burt, isn't it their job to show up at the meetings? I mean, I know that it wouldn't go their way.
Thank you so much, Caroline. Oh, and for the fair use. Okay. Educational and fair use only. But this is interesting. I think I had to listen to this like 3 times, like, wow.
That this is a way of, preventing a quorum and things like that. But that's democracy. It was voted in this way, and it's their job to be there.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. It is their job, as it's been her job to show up at meetings that the trustees have called.
But everybody came to the meeting last week. Was that this week? Oh, they came to the meeting this week, so they can't say they didn't show up for the meeting. So I'm not pointing a finger in either direction here. I can tell you that the conditions in Thornton Township are abysmal, as they are in Dalton. Now, the good news in Dalton, of course, is that we have a solid 4 trustees who have been able to run government. So is he saying in Thornton Township they weren't able to run government? In spite of her, and been able to run government because we've been successful in court with injunctions against Henyard from
acting out and playing the Queen of Dalton rather than the mayor. And government has gone on, except we were in court again.
I bought her used banner at a yard sale last week. Are you serious, William? If you did, tell me where I can go to go see this banner. That's hilarious.
Again, yesterday, on another $1 million lawsuit against Henyard for refusing to issue liquor licenses to a beautiful, beautiful $6 million plus building that was built just off of Route 50.
Hey, you mean the people from the St. Patrick's are suing Tiffany Henyard for that beautiful tall building that's before you get on the expressway? And I'm going to show you a picture of it. The St. Patrick's. Because she won't give him a liquor license. What? I got to find the video.
In Dalton, and the owners can't operate because she refuses to issue the liquor licenses, which have been paid for and approved. So it's just another waste of money.
Wait, remember that there was a video. There was a video where she was at the St. Patrick's when they was, I think it was about to break ground or something. And allegedly, I don't know if the truth or not, but she also had that land is where allegedly Kamal bought the land and then sold it to this couple. Look at what Paul Roberts said. I would love to buy some of those banners. They will be valuable, collectible soon. They sure will. It'll be enough to go on the books.
In Dalton.
And these meetings need to take place because we still have insurance policies that have lapsed, correct? Where you can't get senior transportation. People don't have access to, is it the Thornton Township building? What's going on with those insurance lapses? I'd be a nervous wreck if my insurance lapsed.
I would be having a panic attack if I didn't have any homeowner insurance, if I didn't have any car insurance. I don't know how she's comfortable with this.
Yeah, I agree with you there. All I know is what she said, that the insurance has lapsed, and she cut off senior busing, except the other day she had an event, and guess what buses she used to bus people to her event? The buses, yeah, correct.
That's why I don't understand. How can they have somebody can help me. How were they able to have a meeting this week in a Thornton Township if there's no insurance in there? Now, I did notice that there was no security guards there as usual. So how did she was able to do that? Like, you kind of put everybody else's life in jeopardy when you did not have insurance and allow the meeting to go and be in there. What do you think? What's your thoughts?
Steve, right? That's
yeah.
where we're going.
Buses for the seniors. Which then they don't have any insurance on them, right? So if there was a bus crash,
correct.
Dalton's in the bag again for, whatever it would cost to
Millions.
remedy that.
Correct.
And apparently this was
correct.
her big bingo event. So she's still throwing big events.
They're events, but they're not big. Very, very.
Boy, you cannot piss these people off. If you do, they're going to tell it all on you.
Very, very few people showed up to that event. So even though she still has some support because of some of her giveaways, the overwhelming majority of people in the village of Dalton just can't wait till February 25th rolls around and they can vote.
February 25th, that's when Dalton will be voting. And I got to find that video. Like, match, head count. Okay. Thank you, Lisa. She wants a piece of that St. Patrick's pie. I want to find that video where she was introducing the I don't think they were married, but it's a couple And before they started building, they were building that building like matches. Thank you, Lisa. All the banners had, please tell my voters that I'm honest. Okay, how are they having me? That's what I want. How can we go in that place and they didn't have insurance? That was a liability for the township. I wrote the township attorney to convince Tiffany to hold big bingo somewhere other than the uninsured township building in South Holland. Why they can't use the one on Halsey Street in Riverdale? Tiffany make up her own or no rules as she pleases. Well, it's not going to last long. Also, February 25th is election time for Dalton. This is going to be very interesting.
February 25th, they vote, and she would be out of office on April 1st, right?
No, February 25th is the Democratic primary. April 1st, the winner of the Democratic primary, which is where she is on the ballot, runs April 1st, and then she would be out of office after April 1st.
And of course, the big date is January 27th, when our former mayor, Lori Lightfoot, reports her findings, and she's going to do that in a very public way.
Yes, we're not having a village board meeting, so it's going to be an open public forum at the Park District, which holds, between 200 and 300 people. I would expect.
Oh, it's going to be interesting. So you got to get there early so you can get a good space or seat at that meeting, because everybody going to be there that night. Trust and believe. And hopefully it's not cold, right? That's what I'm hoping it's not.
We'll get a full house because her report is far more detailed than the detailed report she already gave, because she's been able to speak to some individuals now who have talked to her, and she's gotten more financial records.
Have you seen it?
I have not. We talk to Mayor Lightfoot on a weekly basis, and I have had glimpses of.
Oh, so Lightfoot got some paperwork that we are really gonna. This really gonna be something. If he know that she got her hand on some financial paperwork,
what will be presented, and all I can say is it's tragic and bleak.
Wow.
Dang.
Thank you for joining us.
And the federal investigation does go on. We know that because we're in touch with the agencies.
Well, what do you?
Dang, they said the federal government is still going on. She's
Pick up from them.
They're doing their investigation. As Lisa said, they hold things close to the vest, but we supply the information that they request, and that's still ongoing.
Dang.
Have you sat down and have they talked to you?
Yes.
Okay, so what do you? Come on, Bert.
Now we got a lot. Now we're at the end of the interview.
Yeah.
We got the bombshell, Steve.
That's who got the tea right there. Burt Odelson. He know what's going on, huh? I'm sorry. Look at Tiffany. She okay. Care about the insurance yet? Oh, she's a vegetarian. Hey, common sense. Oh, somebody has to answer that question. I heard that he used to work for Thornton Township. I don't know his name. Oh, okay. Oh, they got Paul Roberts answer your question, common sense. Here. Another Dunker Parker was with Tiff the night she was appointed supervisor. And I think if you heard, Gardis was on our platform yesterday, and it's okay, it's confusing. They had a Z team, some kind of team. Everybody who was on this team, everybody would vote to make sure this person gets in. So this was like a team effort to get people into these positions. So inauguration for the mayor of Dalton and the supervisor of Thornton Township aren't until May. I guess Paul Roberts can really. And Paul, who is counting the votes for the election? Tiffany is the type to think insurance is a waste of money in her personal life and obviously, well, in her work life. She's crazy for that one. Take a look at Tiffany's face. She doesn't care about insurance. Her food boxes are okay. We can't do that one. Oh, he said the Cook County clerk trains the election judges and counts the ballot. Mr. Paul Roberts, can you answer? There was a question I just saw. Can you answer this question, Mr. Paul Roberts? No, that's your question. Mayor Dalton Supervisor. Oh, yeah, he did. Inauguration for the mayor of Dalton and the supervisor of Thornton Township. Oh, we have to wait until May. Thank you. I was jumping around. Thank you. Hey, if you want the tea, you got to get it from Paul Roberts. Tiffany said, Kuma Mo Lottie. Hey, Gene, as I can tell you new. Hope you hit that like and subscribe button. This is a grown and sexy channel, and we don't be doing no mess now. Mike, well, Michael, let's say a prayer. She doesn't get in. I don't think she'll get in. Thank you. Is he involved with the current mess? I don't think so. You don't even hear from him. I don't know how you don't even hear nothing about him. It's been very quiet. And Paul Roberts may know more because I just recently found out about him. I'm not sure who he was and where he came from. But he always worked. He used to work for Frank Zuccarelli.
You're like a politician,
No.
Bert. Wait till we're out of time. But wait,
Steve, if I knew, I'd tell you. I'm not the government.
Hey, William, can Facebook survive without Tiffany? Most definitely. Facebook and YouTube. Because it's going to be another story of somebody else being as stupid as she is.
They do things at their own pace.
But what can you pick up from what they're asking you?
What can I pick up? I can pick up that they have sufficient records to show the spending. We have the records, and they have the records of the spending without authority, spending on non-governmental purposes, the trips you've heard about, the Amazon spending.
We're going to get it all, it looked like, from Lori Lightfoot. Is that just the second and the last investigation from Lori Lightfoot for that $30,000 or $40,000 that she got or she received?
It's just one thing after another. The ghost payroll.
Yes, thank you, Paul Roberts. We appreciate you answering all our questions.
Rolling to her friends. It's just it's a laundry list of things that they have. When it will happen, I am not privy to that.
Wow.
But it's going to happen.
Much. Yeah, thanks for sharing what you do know, Bert. We always appreciate it when you come on the show.
Thank you, Bert.
Okay, my pleasure. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Dang, that was interesting. Oh, Donker tried running for Township Highway Commissioner this year, but Clerk Wells informed him his signatures were for a primary which never happened. Oh, okay. Wow. I remember they kept talking about that. Facebook could survive without her, just like Kamal will do. Oh, Lisa Lee. Oh. Well, I really wanted to get those two videos in before tonight, as I promised. Also, we still have one more video that we need to watch, but we probably won't be able to get to that tonight. It's Friday night, but go on WGN Radio 720, and there are more. I saw more articles. Where I see the rest? He has more interviews on here. Burt Odelson does. Oh, you click on this, and you will be able redirected to more of his interviews. If you have not heard it. Well, anyway, what did Sharon say? Come over here. Oh, she says, did you hear that the ghost payroll? Yes, that part. Okay. Oh no. Come on. Sorry, y'all. All this don't keep going on, then it does more and more. Okay, yes. I kind of heard about ghost payroll. Now we know, as we saw the videos earlier today, people can get in so much trouble for all this political stuff. Like, oh my gosh. Tiffany's a dum-dum. 90 likes times to sing for your viewers. Hey, Larry, you can come on here and sing for us. How about that? I appreciate it. If you like to, you can do it. Allegedly, watch out that Tiffany doesn't get on any school board. Oh, that's what Kathy said. Ooh. Hey, SG. Now, seeing this, I think House would make a great president. That's deep. You know that, right? I could see that too. Oh, that's deep. I mean, he even got national name recognition. Facts. And while he has it, he got to use it to his advantage. I'm Oklahoma. I tell you, he remind me of like a Barack Obama. Would she take him back? Let's see. Would you take him back? That's the question I should ask. I think it depends on what part in her life. You know what I'm saying? Like what part in her life that she'll be like, I'm gonna take you back. I wouldn't take him back. You know why I wouldn't take him back? Not because his D is dirty, but because you got all this drama and you have a lot of debt coming back home. And they got a beautiful home. And you left? Girl, just let them go. And I know they got kids. They got children's. I mean, when Tiffany is broke, nah, he better go find the next chick or find a young chick or something. But he gonna be busy himself. He ain't gonna have time to be the wife ain't got to worry about him, and they all gonna be doing it. They all, hey Lisa Lee, they all gonna have their own situation going on. I'm just saying. Oh, does the wife have a different man already? You know what? I saw a picture of her and she seems like a regular wholesome. I don't know what to say wholesome. She don't look like a 304 lady. She like a grown woman. She didn't before he got with Tiff. I saw some pictures. He looks like a wholesome family man. I'm not sure what went wrong. I wouldn't take him back because he in the public with Tiff kid. When does he see his? We know he's behind in child support. He's sorry as hell. Oh my God. Oh Michael, didn't she allegedly steal money from the school board? I don't know nothing about that one. I don't know nothing about that. Allegedly. I haven't heard anything. If you get some facts, Michael, we can talk about it. Just show me where the bodies are laid, and I'll go look it up for you. I don't even know how she steal it. I don't know. Girl, not girl. Y'all, she stays in mess. Well, but he probably spent time with his kids. We just don't see it. You know what I'm saying? So, I think I wouldn't take him back. Because it's too messy now. And how many years has it been? But again, she seemed like a regular woman. So I don't know like where her mindset is, right? Again, he looked like he had a real family relationship. I don't know what. He might allegedly. Larry. I want to see if she had a GED at Sharon. I only base my opinion on her lack of literacy. Hey, Saint Center. Dang, Miss Lee. Lisa Lee, I'm seeing you all over YouTube versus today. Oh, wow. Glad you can join us. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Well, I would love to be on here for another 30 more minutes, but I've been on here for 2 hours and 34 minutes. And I do got a life, yeah, I know. But it's always nice to see Saint Sitter. Oh, look at my computer. Now it wants to act up again. I said I'm going to work on building a studio in my humble abode. Just got to figure out what I want it to look like. So, I'm glad you love my channel, and I love you too. Ew. My new best friend. I used to like doing it. But we grown and sexy. I'm surprised Tiffany doesn't want Michael. Where would she get a flying car from? Right. That's what I'm just saying. So, but okay. So I'm going to wrap this up because I'll be on here all day with y'all. And I appreciate 95 people in the chat or in the bushes. It just dropped down to 91. I know y'all in the bushes. So I should have 90 something extra people. Hey, Spicy. Hey, my subscriber button didn't go up. What is up with that? Okay. Tiffany. I like that picture of Spicy. Like Oakland, California mayor going to the clink takes time. And I would clink to that. Please hit that like, subscribe, and share on your way. Let's support our grown and sexy host. No, let's support our grown and sexy channel. We are doing it. Oh, duh. Playing calmly. If they didn't get a grant and want to know where it was at. Okay. Hey, Bella. No, I want to be your new best friend. Ow. She has a drone. Does she really have a drone? She got too much time on her hand. Hey, Mashia. You come as soon as I'm going out the door, girl. I got to grab my purse and I got to go. Hey, listen, let me tell you what I think I want to do, but I don't know how it would go. I wanted to start, it's called, I love heels and I still wear my heels. And I want to say, who gonna get the heel today? And when we give somebody a heel, not a real heel, but have a nice, sexy shoe or have a gym shoe and say, today, Tiffany Henry gets the stinky gym shoe. Or Belcher should get that cute shoe, that fancy shoe, the shoe of the day, or the shoe of the week. I don't know. I thought that was a good idea. I thought I would run it by you. I know there's some men in here, and quite a few, and they know that I know that they appreciate a woman in a good heel. It's all good. Love you all, sisters. I love you back. Somebody at school board was fired and asking, where's the grant money? Oof. Oh, no, they are. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. I'm going to see how it works out. I love me a good heel. Let me tell you, I buy a pair of heels, and if I don't wear it, I still just a sneaker. Oh, see, you say sneaker, we say gym shoe. Yeah. Like, who gets the sneaker of the day? And oh gosh. Grown and sexy. Heck yeah, girl. Hey, prima donna. We on our way out. We've been here waiting. We've been waiting for you for 2 hours and 38 minutes. And you just getting here. Ha ha ha. Okay, I get it, Lisa. I'm a little slow on the go on that one. Because I can see her really having a drone, to be honest. But we have a flying car, and so does China. Really? I don't want to. They have a flying car. You didn't get a notification? Did you hit the all button? When you hit the subscribe, you got to make sure it says all. If not, I don't know. YouTube is funny acting. You know what I'm saying? They want them to go to where they want to go. You know what I'm saying? Hey, okay. Well, prima donna. The first part, we watched Jason House and Steave interview. And the second part, we watch interview from Odelson. What's his name? Odelson. Yeah, Odelson on Tiffany Hinyard. And I'll try to. I'm gonna timestamp it for you. How about that? Yeah. She sounds seriously. I have a sneaker shoe. Seriously, I have a sneaker shoe. Okay, I got sneakers, but I ain't really. I got some sneakers, but I ain't really. She can't get insurance on that drone. She sure can't. So, I'm gonna push my glasses too far back. Okay, well, on that note, I appreciate each and every one of you all. As I stated, tomorrow at 8 p.m., if you don't get the alert, know that 8 p.m., I will have Stephanie Wiederman on. Remember to always laugh. Laughter is medicine. I will be there in February for the roast. Please sit up front. I don't know if I want to sit up front. I feel like when you go to a comedy club and you don't want to sit up front. She can't even get, okay. Yeah, so let me say this real quickly. So tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Time, that's Chicago time, I will be live tomorrow. And in that 8 o'clock hour, I will be having my special guest because I hit the 500 plus mark. Thank you everyone for helping me get to the 500, trying and working hard to get to that 1,000 subscribers. But Stephanie Wiederman will be on the show. So we get to talk to her before January 21st, when they have that, when they're going to announce her as one of the candidates for that Thornton Township trustee position. So definitely, hey, thank you, Saint and Sinner. I appreciate it. So definitely, we get to talk to her beforehand. If you have any questions, make sure you write your questions down, because I'm not going to keep her for a long time. I appreciate her taking the time out to come and chit chat with us. Yes, I don't know why I'm not sitting in the middle of this seat. I'm all the way in the edge. But yes. So don't forget, tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Time, that we have our special guest. Okay? So, thank you. One of my best friends. Yes. Oh, okay. Give the schedule and go to bed. Okay, I just want to make sure I don't want nobody to miss tomorrow. Bella, I really enjoy your platform. First visit, but not last. You get a hug and a kiss. And I'm glad you came on out. And I'm glad this is your first time. And I look forward to you coming back. And I appreciate you being engaged in the conversation in the chat. Big hugs on that one. Good night. Thank you. Good night. Please join again at Bella. Definitely. Thank you. Oh, I love her. Carolina. Buenas noches, mi amor. Yeah, he says good night, my love. All right. Well, in that note, all right, Carolina, we out of here. Oh, it's 6 o'clock your time? Okay. Yes, 6 o'clock Carolina time. But yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate it. And thank you so, so much, each and every one of you all. Don't forget, if you haven't liked or subscribed, hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe, as we are working hard to get to 1,000 subscribers in that order. See you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Have a happy Friday, and have a blessed night. You do the same. I'll see you.
Click the button, it's the time. Show some love, like and subscribe. Every view and every share keeps the content everywhere. Like and subscribe, join the crew. Hit the bell, it's what we do. Building a world, sharing the dream. You're the heart of this team.